Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when we sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Avs score a touchdown again. 7-3 win over the Nashville Predators in Nashville. Ooh, tonight? Well,
tonight one of them played.
Predators, see, like, it's hard because worst defense.
Swiss cheese on defense.
The worst
they are
defense,
legit
Predators,
bad.
Titans, or Connor Ingram.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put those all into a pot and just stir them around for a little bit.
That you get the.
That's what you get tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yes. Very gross.
Goal soup, I think they call that. Look.
Winter shots. Let's just start there.
Yeah, fine.
All right,
Good. Dr. Dubs.
Let's
Chat.
go.
Dubs, fam.
Let's
Cheers.
do it. Oh, yeah. We can actually play this song. That's good. There's no way they can hear that, but that's okay. Just enjoy it, chat.
Oh, man.
Shout out Gregor. It's a good vibe. Let's go! It's not even that late for the Euro viewers, is it? It's only like midnight there. No, that's Australia. Okay.
Let's get through this podcast so we can go
Get drunk?
enjoy the night.
Yeah.
It's not 1 a.m. for once.
No kidding. Holy.
No super chats for Rudo to do anything inappropriate.
Allie hasn't heard yet. The jorts don't fit anymore, chat. I'm sorry. I hate to let you down like this.
60-second rundown.
Yes. Who's got it? Me? You?
Give me a minute.
Me. I got it.
Are you sure you got it?
Avs jump out to the 1-goal lead, very quickly make it a 2-goal lead. Then they do give one back. It's the way hockey goes. Then every single Avs fan's heart stopped because Darcy Kuemper almost died. He almost died.
So true.
But he comes out of the game. The Avs stay strong.
Yeah. all good.
Unfortunately, Frankie gives one up on the power play in the second period to tie it 2-2. But then the Avs decided, you know what? What if we turbo dunked this team? That's what they decided. They go 4 for 5 on the power play on the night. Cannot be denied. Connor Ingram finally cracks into a million pieces. The Avs get the job done. It's 5-3 after 2, and they played a complete, excellent, well-rounded systems hockey game in the third period. Gave Nashville nothing. Get a couple of insurance goals. Game over. Done.
Let's go.
The neighbors heard that.
That is pretty loud.
It was aggressive, to say the least. The thing is, let's just start here. Darcy Kuemper could have a significant impact on the rest of the Avs playoffs, depending on how much time he misses. Now, we don't have an official injury report, but obviously didn't return to this game. Multiple sources saying it's not a serious injury and it's not a concussion. So that seems promising. We have a picture here that I'm sure AJ's going to break down pixel by pixel for us.
I mean, you just look at it. It looks like it's above the eyes.
Yep.
Which was everybody's concern. Did he just get an eye gouged out? He did not.
Yep.
It does not look like that. It looks like it gets him in the forehead. Okay. Early return feels like crisis averted. And if this game wasn't 5-3, you might have seen him again.
Yep.
But they when they built up that lead, after Frankie
real shaky start. Yeah.
Frankie gives up the second goal, they're tied, and you're like, oh man, how's this gonna go? And then you get to 3-2, 3-3, and you're like, okay, we're gonna be in a bad goalie duel here. And that was it.
And then the Avs took over.
The Avs get the controversial goal.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
On Kuemper's injury there, The only concern that you have is any type of fracture to the orbital bone
you
there,
were worried
right?
about the eye, and then you're worried about, all right, is anything broken? And it looks like the stick is above all that.
Yeah.
And so you're
well,
like,
you just
okay,
got to wait for the x-rays to come back, make sure that nothing's like seriously cracked. If it's just stitches, he'll be fine.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, hey, another nice little built-in advantage of the afternoon game is that he gets an extra half day.
Yep.
So he gets the extra half day, and then it's a late game Monday.
Yep.
So you're like, you bought a couple of hours on each side of this to just be like, hey, it doesn't hurt him any.
Well, even
some lidocaine injections.
If it's even if it's a somewhere like middling injury, like assuming it's not he's done. Worst comes to worst, you give him Monday off.
True.
The Avs have a 3-0 series lead to play with.
Yeah.
It's true.
There's no reason to rush him back right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you could easily justify that decision.
You lose
and
it.
say, hey, we trust the fact that we have 2 shots at home games if we absolutely need them.
You lose game 4, you go back home and say, win it at home.
Yeah.
At that point, you're probably going, all right, Darcy, go in there and get it done. But obviously, more information. I'm sure the post-game talks won't reveal anything, but that's because we know hockey teams, unfortunately. Beyond Darcy, which we can get back to later if we want, the Avs big guns did the things tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking depth and all that stuff, right? You look at who scored in this game. You got
Lecky.
Well, I mean, in just in the game in general, you have Matt Duchene and Roman Josi get 2 of the 3 goals.
Yep.
Nathan McKinnon scores. Gabe Landeskog
twice.
gives you 2 goals.
Makar with 3 assists.
Yeah, you
Devon
get a goal
Toews
from
with a
Devon
goal.
Toews. You get a tip from Arturi Lehkonen, and then you get a freebie from Duchene to seal it.
Yep.
You're like
top end talent
top
just
6,
said,
top
"What
6,
up?"
Top 6.
Yeah.
Kadri gets the freebie from Connor Ingram. Like your top 6 just gave you 7 goals.
Yep.
Ooh, Shesty left in a softie here.
The fact that Mikko Rantanen looks like regular season Mikko right now just has not mattered.
Yep. He's gotten away with it entirely.
Yeah, it has not mattered that he's maybe the only guy who has not turned it up yet.
Yep.
And I say that with an asterisk, knowing he had 2 assists in 2.5 minutes in game 1.
He had at least 1 assist tonight too.
Yeah.
It's not like he's doing nothing.
I don't think he did.
Did they take it away? They had credited him with 1 at one point.
Let me take a
look.
look.
It wasn't like Mikko Rantanen's been bad. It's just that the guys around him are there.
Yeah. He's not being super powerhouse Mikko, but he doesn't have to be.
Oh yeah, saw on that Gabe Landeskog goal in the second period.
All right.
Yep.
So
Thought that's the one that he had. So.
And this was Nashville's best player's best shot, right?
Well, and we were saying, hey, that's true of. We talked in the pregame. John Hines has to coach his team into a competitive situation here.
Yep.
And look, they got let down by Connor Ingram in this game.
For sure.
In the same way that Connor Ingram bailed them out and elevated them and gave them an opportunity in game 2.
They couldn't line it up in one game. Yeah.
The exact opposite happened here, where the skaters gave him a chance.
Yep.
They had 2 world-class finishes from Duchene and Josi. Great shots that I'm not asking any goalie to stop, realistically. If you get that stop, you're thrilled. But those are great. Those are great goals. And then 1 softie from Tolvanen.
Yep.
And hey, that's the difference between a starting goaltender and a backup goaltender. The difference between a backup goaltender and a third goaltender was the other 3 goals that Connor Ingram gave up, because the second one is soft, the 5th goal is obviously free, and then the 6th goal is completely soft. The Toews goal that ends it, the 6th goal that essentially ends it in the 3rd period, is unacceptable for an NHL goaltender.
You cannot let that go in straight up.
Yeah, and the 5th goal where he just passes the puck to Nazem Kadri out front while he's got 2 teammates right there. Again, unacceptable from Connor Ingram.
Just not good enough.
And this is where you're like, look, this is the problem with having a third goaltender like this. These guys always come back to earth. We remember the romantic one, but we never talk about what happens in the next game. Everybody remembers the Hamburglar stealing a game in Nashville.
Dude got 3 more years of contracts based off of that one game.
Out.
Yeah, and who was the primary culprit for that blowout? It was Andrew Hammond.
Yep.
We see these over and over and over. We see these situations. Louis Domingue loses the next game. Coochie loses the game for the Canes. We're going Coochie.
Because you can say that. at
Exactly.
least.
Coochie loses the game for Carolina. Or like not 4, but you know.
Yep.
Like, they did not get great goaltending in any of those games. Those guys always come back. And then you're talking about Nashville's best players. And this is the problem that was coming into this series. I wrote it in my series preview that nobody read because I put it out way too late. But Nashville's best players are good.
They are.
They're very good.
But the Avs are great.
Colorado's best players are world class.
Yep.
Can't say
And
it
that's
any
the
better.
difference. And when
Can't say it any better.
Roman Josi was the one example that you could point to and say, that guy's on the same level. And if you've watched this series, you're wondering, is Roman Josi on Colorado's third pairing?
Sup, son?
Like, I would probably put Roman Josi ahead of Sam Girard. But Sam Girard, barring the one big mistake that he
Has
absolutely
been
made,
excellent.
has been very good in this series. And Roman Josi has gotten the holy shit kicked out of him.
The thing is, he puts up points, right? So, like, that's the upside of him. But he's not a good defensive player for being a defenseman. That's why he's not on the top line for Nashville, because he can't defend.
This is their biggest problem then, is that the guy that they want trying to defend is Mattias Ekholm, who is getting crushed.
He got crushed again.
Again.
All this whole series, he has been
He's
getting
washed, dude. He's washed.
This series is showing you that Mattias Ekholm looked at Marc-Edouard Vlasic's career arc and said,
That's it. I'll take that one.
I want that.
It's been crazy though, because
I want to be
Ekholm has been
underpaid as an elite defensive defenseman, and then I'm going to get wildly overpaid
and stop being an elite
watch my level
defenseman.
drop significantly.
I mean, this
Mattias
year-
Ekholm has gotten the shit kicked out of him.
This year is the first year where you've really noticed it from him, though. Like, he's been a great defender.
He has been one of
And
the
he
league's best
looks-
defensive defensemen.
He looks mid, as my kids would say, against the Avalanche.
I wouldn't even give him that kind of credit, dude. I wouldn't even call him mid.
Whose phone is playing noise?
That's me.
Blais, good job, buddy. Oh, you're on Twitter. Continuing
Poorly shot
forward
pod.
from the start.
Yeah, and I love this comment that just popped up from Jonathan. EJG, Byram, all been quietly solid.
Pick a bad defenseman tonight. You can't do it.
Pick a bad defenseman in this series.
Can't do it.
Through 3 games.
Can't do it.
Pick an Avalanche player on that defense that you say, I would sit him. And if you would sit Sam Girard for Jack Johnson,
You're nuts. You're nuts.
It's a bad opinion.
Yeah.
It's just a bad opinion.
You're nuts. You can't do it. You can't change that up. It's been elite.
The results have been too good. When your one big thing that you can point to is, oh, that mistake that Sam Girard made that gave them one goddamn goal. One. They've
Well,
scored
and
2 meaningless goals in game 1.
Yep.
They scored 1 goal that was good enough and got 49 saves out of their goalie. And then they were 3-3. They were 3-3 legitimate halfway through this game. It's 3-3. And then you get into winning time, and this is the same exact thing that happened in the Nashville, Colorado series in 2018. The better team separated in the second half of
They
games.
played better.
They
Yep.
were competitive early. The Avalanche, that like plucky upstart team, was competitive early in those games. And the longer that game went on, those games went on, Nashville separated. In this series, it's the exact opposite.
I agree.
Colorado has just separated.
I agree that Nashville has been competitive in this series, but it's worth noting.
They were competitive today. They weren't competitive at all in game 1. They weren't really competitive outside of Connor Ingram in game 2. Through 30
But
minutes
even-
today, you're at 3-3.
Even tonight, yes, they were competitive. The Avs have trailed 0 minutes and 0 seconds. in
0
this series.
seconds of this trailing.
They have never been behind in this series so
Yeah.
far.
And that's when
Avs
you're
don't
like,
want to be choked during the playoffs.
we talked about what the Avs have decided that they're going to do the choking. They don't know what safe words are, and that this is fucking over.
Yep. Here
Love
for
it.
this.
Perfect. End the show.
Did you ever see that movie Euro Trip?
Yes.
Yep.
I love
Where he
that
goes,
movie.
where he goes into the thing, and he looks at the safe word, and he's like, That's
so
the Avs.
great.
Yep.
Right now, the Avs can't read the safe word.
Breaking down the goals, and I think the goals in this game are a perfect trajectory of Connor Ingram falling off the cliff.
Yeah.
The first one, you can't blame Ingram at all. It's a
Good
good
tip.
point shot. Lehkonen gets a
Good
body
tip.
on it.
Yep.
Yep.
Great job by Arturi
Yep.
Lehkonen. Just putting the tiny little Finnish butt in his face.
Is that what it was? Like, did it go off his shin guard? What did he hit?
I think it hits his stick.
It's either sick or like thigh.
Or like his hip.
Yeah.
It's such a weird angle when they're showing the replays. I was trying to find exactly where it hits. Definitely changed direction.
Yeah, he got a piece of it. You can't knock Ingram for that. You get a second one where puck's loose in front.
This is my favorite comment. The Avs went from BDSM to BTK.
Wow.
They went from this is completely acceptable to a serial killer. And you know what? I can't even disagree.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Through 3 games, they are Dennis Rader.
Way too accurately.
Yeah.
Second goal, you just get good quality hard work from the Avs top line. Landy and Mac both getting in there, grinding it out net front. And something we talked about during the game, the Avs' ability to find the space and win the battles net front in the offensive zone against Nashville has been all world.
Yeah, they've beaten them in all the aspects that you want.
Yep.
You wonder, like, your transition hasn't been as deadly in this series.
Yep.
But the power play, the set plays, just the pressure that they've applied, obviously with 4 power play goals today, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
Like, do you still want to fire that guy?
The passing's been crisp as well.
Right, like they've
that's-
executed,
yeah,
and that's
the
what happens when you
execution-
have, when you get 5 power plays and you have a world-class set of talent, and you're not, and you look at it, and it's not Alex Ovechkin in the same spot, going bombs away for one-timers.
Yeah.
They're all a little bit different. The first one that they score is that little play down low.
Yep.
Where Landy kind of chips it in, and then McKinnon just taps it in.
Yep.
And it's a soft goal, but it looks completely different from the Lehkonen goal. I guess I have them backwards. The Lehkonen goal
Was first.
Yep.
was the tip. The McKinnon one, the second one. Those are both on the power play, and they're completely different.
Well, the part that I love about the Landy McKinnon goal, again, these are your top guys. These are the guys we've seen play Harlem Globetrotters on the power play all season long. And they get down to crunch time in the playoffs, a 1-0 game. They both park their asses in front of the net and tell Nashville to move them.
yeah.
And they can't. That's playoff hockey.
Nashville rolling out Alexander Carrier, who I think has been a really solid defenseman this year.
But he can't hang with
But
that.
it's very
He can't
obvious
hang with
that he cannot be the guy that they need. He's either not there yet, or this has shown that he is not that guy.
Yep.
He has gotten hard exposed in this series as a decent player who does not belong at the top end of competition because the Avs have eaten him alive.
I think you can say that about Benning as well.
The thing is, though, is you don't, if you're Nashville, you're asking Roman Josi, who makes $9 million to play any level of defense for you.
And he can't do
You're
it.
asking Matthias Ekholm
Yep.
to be a lockdown
This is what he
defenseman.
was literally paid to do.
You need
Yeah.
those 2 guys first and foremost to drive the defensive bus. And the Avs have devoured them. They have unhinged the jaw, swallowed them whole like a big-ass snake, and forgot that they were there.
God,
they are at the point
don't bring up steaks, AJ.
They are at the point of slowly
Not
digesting
happy.
the Predators at this point. Games 1 through 3 was unhinging the jaw and swallowing them whole, and now they're just going through the digesting phase.
Was this series actually Giant Sabretooth versus Boa Constrictor, the movie?
Sure. Yes.
That's what I'm here for. And so
I mean,
far,
a boa constrictor wraps himself around and squeezes
yeah,
the life out of
it
him.
needs to be like a
So it's more
giant
like
saber
Anaconda or
it's more
something.
like the movie
Yeah,
Anaconda.
yeah.
One of the all-time goats, by
For
the
sure,
way.
for sure.
Just an incredible film.
The CGI is fucking
Please,
top notch.
please watch Anaconda if you have not.
Ice Cube's performance.
Oh my God.
Brilliant.
Okay. We are, of course.
I don't know how I feel that my fanfics are much more intense than they need to be.
What day did we take off? It was Tuesday, right?
I don't know. I don't know that we've had days off. I don't feel like we have.
We didn't have any days
I had a bunch of days
here
off.
says it really saltily that we did not have any days off.
We didn't.
I love it.
So we're read free then.
I mean, we're never read free. We got people that pay us.
I mean, we gave our love to DraftKings.
Just give it again. Don't worry.
You know the drill. Go over there, bet every dollar you own
Wow,
on
it's
Cale Makar to get
4-1
points.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, their Chesty's finally cracked.
So how fun is it that we were all like, oh, this the East and blah, blah. Pittsburgh and Washington have rolled out and are like, the old guys know what they're doing.
I'm counting them out. They're washed.
I'm still counting them out because they don't have a goalie.
Well, neither does Florida, maybe. So
Stop.
That's the thing,
Stop.
man. We'll see. Yeah,
All-
about
both
to go
of
up
you-
3 game
both
4
of
and
you
even started,
stop.
girl. Just hold your horses.
look, put your money where your mouth is. Go over on DraftKings and make the bets.
my man.
All right,
Right there, my man.
get on it. I'm betting my mortgage on Cale Makar to win the Conn Smythe.
Sure, Sarah's excited about that.
Not gonna love
Mrs.
it.
Rudo thrilled.
Yeah.
Acquired mortgage, gambled it.
3 times involved.
Hey, look.
3 times.
If we win one, though, you pay it off.
It's true.
That's all you got to do. Win once. Go over to DraftKings, bet on whatever you want. If you're a new account, use code DNVR. Bet $5 on any NBA playoff game. You don't even have to get the bet right, and they give you $150 and free bets to bet on whatever you want, including playoff hockey. So jump on that.
Milnick, hit me up. I'll give you some money to bet on the Pens every night.
Eugene needs a couple bucks.
Yeah,
Oh wait, he died, right?
I guess.
Eugene Melnick died, correct?
Yes.
Well, vibes are going way down all of a
Yeah.
sudden. Great job, Rudo.
Anyway, Milnick.
Driving the ship right
hit me
into
up,
those
dog.
little
Hit-
rocks
hit
over
me up,
there.
dog.
It's just something I haven't thought about since it happened. Anyway,
We even had a pod where we talked about it.
yeah, I look. The playoffs started, and I wiped the slate
It's true.
clean,
Like
man.
the Avs, we all just
Yeah.
went dead brain. Everything that's happened for the last 7 months, we forgot.
Okay. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We keep running it down. The Predators' 2-1 goal. That's a tough bounce to take. Nashville coming in 2-on-2. Duchene drops the puck back.
Luke Cunnin
Just completely
whips
fans on the
shot,
puck.
and the puck squirts to Duchene, and he just roofs it. And you're
And
like,
it's a great shot. Like,
you're
credit
like,
where credit's due.
defensively, what more do you want?
Yeah.
'Cause I saw there were some people who were like, "Oh, the Avs are too soft on Duchene." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" are
Yes,
you talking
he's
about,
supposed
dude?
to read the whiff shot.
Dude, Duchene's been legit good in this series. I'm sorry, like
He has been-
he's Duchene at the top level of Duchene. I'm not saying like
If you take out game 1 where he scores 2 completely meaningless goals to cut the deficit to 5 each time, how do you feel that Matt Duchene has played in this series?
he's-
You didn't
at least
notice
he's
him in game
producing.
2.
You can't-
You did not
No.
notice him in game 2.
but there's not a
He
lot of
did
Preds that
not.
you can say. There's not a lot of Preds you can say.
He did nothing in game 2.
Now, hold on.
And in game 3, after that goal, what did he do?
And yet,
Well,
and
what
yet,
all Preds did.
and yet, I know the game one
but he's
goals.
legit their best player right now.
I know the game one goals weren't relevant, but scoreboard, Matt Duchene 3 goals. The rest of the Nashville Predators,
Classic
2 goals.
Duchene.
So,
I guess.
So what you're
3
telling
goals,
me-
3 tied.
so
It's
what you're
tied
telling
3-3.
me is for the
It's
first
tied 3
time-
to 3. That's fine.
for the first time in Matt Duchene's entire career, he is in the postseason looking at his teammates saying, "Where's the help?" Instead of all of them
Yes.
looking at him saying, "Where are you, bro?"
That's exactly
Where
what
are
I'm
you,
saying.
bro?
That's
Where are
exactly
you?
what I'm
It's
saying.
called
Yeah.
growth.
Because you know
It's
he
growth.
didn't score. You know he didn't score his first career NHL playoff goal until he was in Columbus.
I know. He did miss a lot of the Minnesota series with injury, to be fair. But
Look, 10 years in,
I don't. Enough of this Duchene nonsense. What is this? We got some sick vibes.
he's not washed. He's a perfectly fine player. But if he's your best player,
Dude, he scored
that's
40
why you're
goals.
down
Yes,
3-0
I agree
in the
with that
series.
take. I agree
this
with
is
that
why
take.
you're down 3-0
That
in the
is
series.
true, 100%.
And this is where Nashville has had their problem. Their depth can't handle Colorado.
Yeah, here-
No doubt. Colorado's defense is destroying Nashville.
Absolutely.
But at the top of the lineups, Matt Duchene has statistically given them everything that you could ask
Yes,
for.
agreed.
Philip Forsberg is walking into free agency, coming off of an absolute ghost of a showing in the
Giving
series.
away money. He's giving it away.
He's making
Absolutely.
He's making it more likely that they give him $9 million to no show in future playoff appearances.
Yeet.
Right next to Roman Josi.
Yeah,
They're gonna pay all this money to run it back to get worked in round 1 by Colorado again next year.
Yeah, this
Are they
is-
firing their coach after if
They-
they lose game 4?
Play
are they
the
firing their
vibes,
coach?
damn it!
He's trying to make a point. Let's make him.
I just want you out here to play the good vibes. Oh, it's so good. The bar was so lit today.
So loud.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Even I took video of it at one point.
He did. It's true. I saw it happen.
Yeah.
He can't play that on the show because we'll get banned, but
Yeah. I only sent it to see.
no, that's the only person you need to send
That's
it to.
for my
really.
love, not for you guys.
Wow. You're saying you don't love me, AJ?
Not like I love her.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I ain't gonna. I'm not going. I would not drive to Winnipeg for you, brother.
I wouldn't either.
I'm saying.
Oh, yeah,
Vibe
yeah,
Tribe
it's full of
is how
shit.
we need to rebrand the bar. It is the Vibe Tribe. That is the greatest nickname. I'm all about
There's
that.
we've been the DNVR fan for a while. Do we need to be the DNVR Vibe Tribe?
Dude, I'm so about it.
I'm here for this take.
Vibe Tribe is an amazing nickname, and I love things that rhyme. I'm a sucker that way.
We're in. I'm in on this. Second period, you get the one brutal Frankie goal after. Let's not put it all on Frankie. Horrible penalty by Andre Burakovsky.
Dude, you literally drew the same penalty.
Yeah.
And like right off the face-off, but my problem is that they lose the face-off and it's a bad read by Berkey.
If he just
He
slips
takes a
in,
step
yep.
forward.
Yep.
Why would you think that the Avs are automatically winning a face-off? What are you doing? His coverage on that is clearly that guy. And if that's his assignment, and he knows that that's what his assignment is on a lost face-off, because if his assignment on a lost face-off is to attack the puck up high, he shouldn't even be there.
You're
But
gone.
his
That's someone
assignment,
else's.
his assignment was that guy.
Yep.
He takes a step forward. Forsberg gets, I think it was Forsberg that got behind
Yep.
him. And then he just wraps the arm around.
Yep, and just yanks him like
Oh,
obvious.
actually, I think it was Trennan.
that sounds right. That sounds right.
And he gets a clean shot on goal anyway.
Yep.
You commit a penalty and you don't prevent the guy from a scoring chance.
At least get your money's
It's
worth.
like your
Yep.
worst combination. At
Yep.
least remove a limb. It's the postseason. They won't call a double minor.
It.
I
And-
dare you. You won't.
I won't. You both get. So you get the bad penalty. You get through 98% of the penalty kill. Super
Yeah.
high quality.
Yeah.
I said it 7 seconds before the puck goes into the net. You need one big save, Frankie.
And it's not a hard save.
That's routine.
He
It
gets
was.
60% of it. It was that easy.
Yep. And it goes in.
You can't give up the weak. That is the goal that Calvin Pickard used to give up.
Every
that
game.
kept him from the NHL.
Every game he gave that goal up.
That's the exact goal. That short side on the blocker. Actually, that's his glove.
Because Frankie catches reverse.
Yeah.
So it's even worse.
Yeah.
That short side on the glove. That's an unacceptable goal to give up. It's
Yeah.
just not good enough.
Yep. Agreed. Just needs.
That's not good enough. The next one
And-
I'm fine with.
Yeah. Well, that you said it either on the show earlier or on the watch along. That goal is the difference between why Darcy Kuemper is the starter and why Frankie's the backup.
And then all the other saves are the difference between Frankie and Connor Ingram.
Yep.
And third goals.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
like
Just
Connor's,
generally.
not specific.
Well, he
Just
came back to
generally.
earth
Third
for this
goals.
game, right?
Yeah, he was.
Well, and then Frankie got better as he got
Yeah,
worked
yeah,
in.
Frankie
It's also a
warmed
tough,
up.
It is a
He's
tough
been in the
thing.
game for 7 minutes.
He's been in
Like,
the yeah. He comes into the game and he has to go on a PK like immediately,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, you got this?
Sorry, bud.
You don't got this." And then the third goal, like they make a great play. They make a
Yeah.
great shot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes to like, which is the emotionally mature team in the situation? Because you have Colorado that gives up. Okay, they've had a 2-0 lead. It's gone.
Yep.
They've had a 3-2 lead. It's gone. This team will not go away. And what did Colorado do? They walk right down the ice.
Yeah, they got it back.
They walk right down the ice. They score the fourth goal.
Yep.
It gets challenged, slightly controversial.
I mean, we're
Just
here.
because
We might as
it's
well get
challenged.
into it. Yeah.
I said in the last game, I had ascended to a higher plane. I ascended as one, and I understood goaltender interference.
And now we're here.
Wow.
It took one game. I have descended as one. I am on the rest of the plane with all of you. We are all peasants, and goaltender interference makes no sense to me.
You're a simpleton now.
I have
Yes.
come back to Earth.
Yes.
I expect to be welcomed home with
Third eye
proper
shut real quick.
with proper dignity and objects being thrown in my direction.
Sounds about right.
I will accept anything that does not hurt that much.
And we chatted this up, and the thing about goalie interference is, by the rule book, contact with a goaltender outside of the crease is allowed.
And this is where both goals 4 and 5, this becomes a conversation.
Yep.
Because goal 4, Arturi Lehkonen goes to stop. Now he's getting pushed.
Yep.
By, I think it's Benning. I'm not 100% on Benning. I say Benning out loud and now I doubt it, but
It's one of the Nashville players.
He's getting pushed into Ingram, but
Yep.
Ingram's skate is on the outside of the crease.
Yep.
And that's where you're saying, look, you can't claim but I'm a goalie if you're not in the crease.
Yep.
You have a special place in which you are allowed to exist with your own set of rules, and when you leave that special place, you're on the rest of planet Earth, and all those other guys are allowed to do things.
Well,
Yeah.
especially with the defenseman's stick
in his
up-
numbers. Yeah.
up across his
and,
numbers,
and
right?
actively driving him into the guy.
You can see the
absolutely.
push happening. And it's like it's an easy call for the refs to look at and be
Is
like,
it Granlund? Cool.
Yeah.
And
That's the first time Mikhail Granlund's ever been physical
The
with somebody
part-
in his whole career.
Oh wow.
the part that's really,
He's so soft.
really hard here is we've seen Toronto regularly call it goalie interference outside of the crease.
Yeah.
And yes, you have the push, but you get this gray area where you're like, he probably is making contact with the goalie there anyway.
Yeah, like Lehkonen
Yeah.
is not there. Like he's not. He puts himself in the position to both be pushed and make contact with the goalie.
Right.
But he also gets pushed, and the goalie leaves his crease.
Yep.
So 2 Nashville players play a role in creating that where you're like, what's Lehkonen supposed to do here?
Yeah.
You could see where they were coming from last game. Like Lehkonen undoubtedly created all the initial contact. After that, things got murky, but you could at least understand like where they're coming from. In this one, you can't even make the clear-cut argument that Lehkonen creates the contact on his own.
Yeah.
Right.
You can easily be like, he's getting shoved
And
in anyway.
not-
As he's stopping, he's clearly stopped. He starts stopping a foot outside of the
Yep.
crease.
He's full breaks.
As
Yeah.
he's a full brakes, and it's at that point he's getting pushed, and the guy leaves his crease just enough where you're like, this is reasonable doubt.
And not to
And
be
then Gabe
discounted,
Landeskog
puts
makes
an
a sick
unreal shot.
dude.
Yeah.
He makes a sick shot that like we don't get to talk about because it got challenged for goalie interference. Now, and I want to ask you guys, if you're John Hines in that spot, that's a no-brainer challenge, right? You have to challenge.
Well, because of what the game score was.
Going from 3-3 to 4-3.
Yeah. Just from a momentum.
It's so
part
tough,
of it.
man. It's so. This is why
So-
I'm not an NHL head
Well,
coach.
it's so like
because of decisions like this.
we're in hindsight, knowing
Yeah.
how things have happened, and it's still tough.
Yeah.
You have about 45 seconds if you're John Hines to make that decision.
And
You want to challenge it. You've seen replays. There's reasonable doubt. Do you trust that your team can come back from the 1-goal lead, or do you more trust that
That's a great point to bring up right there.
that you
if
can survive the
lose,
PK.
That they survive a PK when you've
Yeah.
already
Well,
given up
and
3 power play goals.
Like at worst, I bet you Nashville gets that call at least 3 out of 10 times. with
That's
the
what
challenge.
feels like. That
Yeah.
felt like the ultimate catch-22.
Yeah.
You don't challenge, you don't give yourself a chance, and you accept that you're down 1 goal.
Yeah.
On a play that has been the most unpredictable of the season.
Yep.
You do challenge, you put yourself in position to have to kill the penalty, and as we know, they did not do that.
Which
Yeah.
we'll get to, but
We're there. Get to it.
what is their best pass of the night? Connor Ingram.
Connor Ingram, tape to tape, baby.
and look, did Landy put pressure on Ingram? Yeah, a little.
Kind of.
He was
Who
coming.
put more pressure on Connor Ingram, Landy or Carrier?
Carrier had to be like screaming at him that he's coming or something, right?
There are 2 Preds there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 1 Landy, and Landy's even there like a tick late.
Right, the puck is gone when Landy actually touches him. Like, And there's no
What the hell is he doing?
There's no recovery there either. Like that puck is directly to
let me ask.
Nazem Kadri.
Worse goaltender miscue. That or Makar Francouz in the Dallas series.
Oh
Because
man.
both led to 2-goal leads.
This one definitely looks worse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because Ingram
yeah.
straight just makes the
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
All right.
That looked like a shook goalie move right there, right?
That looked like this moment is too big for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was you're off the cliff at that point for
Yeah.
Connor Ingram.
Well, and then you're at 5-3, and the Avs are like, thank you.
Yep. Okay, bye. And then you jumping ahead a
Well,
little
from
bit.
there,
here,
that's
but-
cruise control.
And then the sixth
Yeah.
goal goes in.
and then you're like,
it's
okay, can we protect a 2-goal lead in the third period?
Yeah.
P.S. They outshot Nashville
yeah,
in the third.
That third period
They're-
was genuinely great hockey.
Nashville went from they went 11 shots on goal in the first period, 10 shots on goal in the second period, 9 shots on goal in the third period.
And I thought the Avs were going to just like pull back, basically do the
turtle?
the half ice,
And they didn't.
half ice press, right, where you're like, go ahead, break the puck out.
They didn't even
bring
do
it
that.
into the neutral zone.
They
We'll
were-
stop you, and then we'll just put it back down there deep.
They were committed to forechecking.
Yeah.
What?
We have audio from Josi and the
Is it going to
okay.
work?
Yeah,
Let's try it. Let's fire this up
Yeah.
right now.
Check out some audio.
Who do you want to hear first? Landy and Towes or
I don't care about Landy and Towes at all.
Bendar.
No offense.
Bednar.
I want
We only got Frankie and Landy and Towes.
no Bednar.
No bad.
Go Landy and Towes then.
Yeah, Landy and Towes.
Yeah.
Then. That's fine.
You two guys. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
hit us.
I guess to start, for either or both of you, just what was kind of your initial reaction when you see Darcy go down at the end of the first?
I think a little worrisome. We haven't seen him really, so we don't really know exactly what the extent of the injury was. But yeah, it's definitely worrisome when you see your starting goalie go down like that.
What was working for you guys on the power play today? You guys were 4 for 5, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were in playoffs in general. It's super important with your special teams, and on the road, it's very important. And for us, I think first 2 games we were able to find some looks and able to look at the video this morning and see kind of where we can stay ahead of their adjustments, hopefully. And tonight we were able to do that, and staying aggressive, staying in an attack mentality is always important. Sometimes when power play is not working, that's kind of what you get away from, and you start looking for the perfect play. But we're just trying to take advantage of it, move the puck around, and we got some plays that we're looking at, and they work tonight.
How high is the high gear you guys are in now?
I don't think there's any high. We're a pretty level-headed group. This game's over now, so now we move on to the next one. The next one's the big one. It's the hardest game is to knock a team out. They're playing for their season now, so this next game is going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, exactly like you said, there's no easy games.
All right.
All right.
Those were some words.
We tried.
Yep. We put some effort in.
You guys have no idea how loud that was for us.
Yeah, it was brutally loud for us.
It was very loud for us. Yeah. Hey, all good, man. That's just how it goes
Well,
sometimes.
you got to go into audition and boost it by like 20. I remember, but
I moved it by 15 and still
yeah, it's rough. Anyway,
Yeah.
not the point. You go through the rest of this game.
EJ's right though. The hardest game to win is that 4th one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you go through a series, you're you're up 1 game, and then you're like it was 7-2 in the first game, and then we were like, oh, that was great, but you got to keep winning, and then
Yep.
they sneak out that game 2 after Connor Ingram has the day of his life, and you're like, woo, excited to be up 2-0, but hey, going into Nashville is tough. You go into a 70% full arena in Nashville because Preds fans are not actually that great, and
It's not
you roll them.
It's not
you roll them.
not genius wisdom, but a series isn't over until it's over.
Right.
Like-
but you roll them, and now Nashville has 2 shots at home, at most 2 shots at home and 2 shots on the road against the second best road team in the NHL.
And a team at home that's unfucking believable.
P.S. Nashville lost more games than they won on the road this year, so it's not like they're a killer road team.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Taves. You're correct. That was my fault. He sounds a lot like EJ sometimes.
I mean, I think
thought
the series.
It
I think
totally
the,
sounded like
it,
EJ.
it did, and then at the end, the oat came out a little bit, the
Yeah.
Canadian. But
He's totally right, though.
yeah,
And
no,
as I
he's
said on the
100%
watch
right.
along when he scored, best human.
Well,
Devon Toews, top human. And you know why Nikola Jokic and Cale Makar are not eligible for this?
Oh my god!
Because they're not fucking human.
true.
Devon Toews at least is of Earth. Those two mutants are not.
Quickly, the
is he
Devon
salt of the earth?
No.
No.
Taves got a little salt of the earth
No.
to him, a little bit.
No.
A little bit.
He left the Islanders and he left the salt behind.
Okay, there it is.
Trust me. He
More-
left a lot of salt behind.
More sugar of the earth.
Yeah. Because that 6th goal was sweet as hell.
Was it, or is
Yeah, it
Connor
was.
Ingram just bad?
Yo, he just rolled that puck on the ice and Connor Ingram was like, ole! And you had no idea that the puck was such a threatening bull.
It was scary. It was scary. That goal goes in. Our king of the game, you already know.
It's you guys. No, I'm just kidding. You had nothing to do with it.
Of course it's Gabe Landeskog, bro.
Oh my god.
4-point night captain. Why do
Redhead landing.
dare you put redhead landing?
Let's go.
Unbelievable. I'm surrounded by morons.
I love that Yahir took a side in this debate.
Unbelievable.
I love it.
Where's Megan? We need Megan back on the
I
show.
love that the dude that takes his clothes off and wears shorts and like is like, nah, I'm just gonna rip my shirt off here. Is like, I'm surrounded by morons.
Look, just because I do wrong doesn't mean that I am wrong.
Yes, it does. You are what you do.
That's a great point. I wish I had a counterpoint. Rudo just dunked on me. Pretty bad. I'm pretty short, so it shouldn't be hard to do, but that was good. Well played.
Problem is I can't dunk no matter how short you are. So.
I saw a TikTok of a dude on an 8-foot rim going to town.
The 8-foot rim's my shit, all right? I can
Going to town. I was like, we should have a pickup basketball game on that, in which we have Blais and Blais just reaches up and goes like this.
One team gets Blais, one team gets Adam, and we just go.
Oh, Adam's a way better baller than that.
Adam actually plays.
He's not allowed to play. He has
played
to
college
dunks
basketball.
only. It's dunks only.
He's only.
By the way, the redhead debate has been going on between me and Eric for eons.
Yeah, I love that it's become like a side bit of ours, and like you guys brought it to us,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh, this thing has been happening for 10 years.
Yeah, we both dug in, and it will never change.
By the way, we are brought to you by
No, the king of the
Breckenridge
game
Brewery.
should not be Frankie.
Absolutely
No,
not.
no.
That Softy
Landeskog
immediately
was stellar.
eliminated
Yeah.
him from King of the Game.
No way. He
contention.
gives up 2 goals. The defense in front of him locks it down. He does just fine. If he can't come in that situation and then protect a 5-3 lead that they give him, he should not be in the NHL.
Yeah.
And I make that argument based on the guy on the other end of the ice who should not be in the NHL based on how he played in this game. All respect to Frankie, who
Of
was
course.
just fine.
Not
He gets a solid C+ for me in this game.
Didn't play poorly other than the one goal.
It gives up a soft goal, a great goal, and then doesn't have a lot to do after
and
that.
just not King of the Game value
Yeah.
there. That's all.
Doesn't bail them out, doesn't blow the game. Perfect backup.
Go buy this. Go get yourself some Breck Brew. Breck Brew, by the way, if you go to breckbrew.com, they're giving away 2 Avs tickets to every home playoff game. Yes, if they go that far, that even includes the Cup Finals in Ball Arena. They're giving away 2 tickets. You can go over there. You can nominate someone to win the tickets. Get to breckbrew.com. It's actually ridiculous. Do you know how much Stanley Cup Finals tickets cost?
$1.50.
No, because they haven't had one in Colorado in a long time.
Oh,
It's a lot more than the last time they had one in Colorado. I'll tell you that.
Would imagine.
21 years ago.
Yeah.
Hashtag memories.
I remember.
Tropical Storm Allison, baby.
Oh my God.
That's the only reason I couldn't watch that game live.
Go over there. Go to Breck Brew. Get your stuff. Also, Avaka TV. $15 a month for the first 3 months. Just $25 a month after that. Avaka.tv/DNVR. You can watch the Avs of the playoffs right now on Avaka TV on your TV.
Yo, Frankie doesn't give up that soft goal. It's a B+. But I'm not on grades. Evan is. So whatever Evan wants to give is really, my grade is irrelevant.
True. True enough. And ultimately,
I'm just the editor.
the Avs win the game and they go up 3-0 in the series. So what do grades even matter? The
What
final
does-
score says it all.
What does any of this even matter?
True. Full nihilist pod. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Why am I
Just entertainment.
Just going to eat at Arby's when I get out of here.
Just to suffer.
Oh, curly fries. Why are you suffering?
Those are good.
That's the
Curly
meme.
fries are the shit.
Yo, Arby's in Canada is a strict hard no.
Is it that bad?
Don't do it, fellas.
How's
Har-
the KFC?
But Hardee's.
Don't do it, fellas.
Hardee's.
Yeah.
Hardee's got
Taco Bell
poutine.
too. Don't do it,
Wow.
fellas.
Hardee's got
Okay.
poutine up there.
It
Is Hardee's a thing down here?
depends on where you go.
Yeah, some places.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. I saw a few of them.
The
we have
funny
some
part of this is that Rudo is rarely drunk when we're on pods.
This is like my third beer of the entire day. I got here at 1 and I've
Yeah.
had 3 beers. Like we have some insane super chats to get to.
Yeah, let's get to
so.
some super chats.
10 Canadian from Drew. So if Josi is so amazing when the Avs are destroying their PK time after time after time, why is he sitting on the bench with their season on the line?
Can't play D.
The same argument that Adam Fox won the Norris over Makar with. I'm
Can't
just
play
saying.
D.
Yo, and I made the same argument at the beginning of the year when somebody asked me for the best all-around defenseman in the NHL, and I picked Victor Hedman. And then Cale Makar jumped on the PK.
And balled
the
the
PK
fuck out.
got
Yeah.
really, really good, and it was like, what do you say?
Yeah.
Cale Makar's now number 1.
Yep.
You know who's not? Fucking Roman Josi.
Got him. $5 from James. Rudo, do everything inappropriate. Oh, and happy birthday, Allie. We'll get
I'm sure
there.
she's thrilled.
What?
I'm sure she's thrilled.
Oh, yeah. She loves her birthday.
Yeah, she's... there's nobody that likes birthdays more than Allie.
100%.
$10 from Sasha.
Hippo character throwing a blazing uppercut into the air with the word KO appears in the
I mean,
background.
this was round 1 of the Battle of the Evil X's, and they absolutely... You take the
Yep.
Street Fighter 2 Tournament Edition KO that they used in
Yep.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yep.
Yep.
Use that KO.
That's it. That's it right there. 7 Canadian from Mark. I was stoked on how the power play went
You
tonight.
can't get excited about 4 power play goals. You don't get to talk about the power play anymore.
True enough. If this wasn't a good enough power play,
I know, right?
yeah, no, there is. It's the same thing you say when you're gambling. There's not a number that could make you stop.
Yeah.
Like you're just playing until you lose it all.
Yeah.
$5 from Chris. Dr.
Nashville,
Dubs,
Monday.
4th visit coming up on Monday. At this point, let's give the entire fan base the kind of eye poke Johansson gave Kuemper today. Unintentionally? Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, the Avs eye poke will be a lot more intentional
True.
than Johansson's.
True.
Yeah. That's just battling for position in
It
front
was
of
such terrible
Yeah.
luck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those cat eyes, man.
That
It
felt...
didn't even go through the cat eye, dude. It's like one rung below.
Still part of the cat eye.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God, what are you talking about?
It's all part of the cat eye.
Yeah.
If you're the cat.
Is Kuemper the cat now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Call him Scars from now on. That's
Oh
a cool
my
cat
God.
name, anyways.
You know Scar dies in the end, right?
No, not in the alternate ending.
Oh, my God.
Did you know Lion King had an original
There we
ending?
go, there we go.
Lion King had an original ending where...
This is 100% true.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with it.
He kills Simba.
Yeah.
But that isn't the ending that they used.
Yeah, well, they also... We're talking about the same people. I mean, not the exact same people, but the same, like, group of people that changed the ending of I Am Legend and made it
Yes.
1,000 times worse.
True.
Took it from something that made sense to whatever the hell
This
that was.
company also regularly draws secret dicks in the background of their movies.
Yeah,
so.
because that's...
Guess
that's
what? Me and
because
Eric
they're-
do that too.
That's because they're hilarious.
$10 from
damn it.
Tyler. Can we talk about how EJ is having a great series? Yep.
Dude, EJ's been great.
Yep.
And like I said, the best way to know that EJ's been great is that Jesse hasn't mentioned him once. I said it on the watch along. Might
Let's
as well double
go,
down.
man.
Get
I
in.
love it.
Get
Love
it
you, Jesse.
in.
I love it.
Hope you listen to this pod in your hotel room.
Thank you, Tyler. $10 from Aaron. First round is on me, boys. What a time to be in.
I'm gonna assume that it's Abs fan.
Avs.
Avs
Yeah.
fan indeed. Good call. Cheers.
Yes. First round was a long time ago, friend.
Yeah, 1 p.m.
It's been going hard.
It hasn't been going that hard, actually. But $5.
Oh, you're in the wrong part of the room then.
Well, $5 from Edward. 5 more for 1 more message. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
You guys are the
Here's another
future
one,
of
man.
sports media, and I'm here for it. Keep it up. I hope this money goes directly to you guys.
We do appreciate you, man.
It goes directly to the yacht fund.
We do hope also
Let's
that
go.
we are the future of sports media.
That would be
'cause
good.
That means that he can pay for the house he just
Yeah.
bought. I can at least continue to pay for the internet that I use to look on Zillow to look for a house to buy. And and places like that.
What the fuck?
All right, well, that was the yacht horn that we're going to have installed on the yacht.
I appreciate the thought. I do okay, but
The shit.
but Mrs. Rudo is paying for the house. I'm riding the coattails here for sure. Insanely generous. 70 Canadian from Hartle.
I gotta convince that Canadian girl to be Mrs. Hayfully so that
There
I can
you
ride
go.
her
Yeah,
coattails.
yeah.
I mean, I convinced her. Like, she said yes,
Yeah.
but now she got to actually sign the paperwork,
There you go.
know?
There you go. 70 Canadian
Let's do paperwork together, babe.
from Hartle. Rudo,
What a weird way
to
to
do something
propose.
inappropriate. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Ugh.
Blais and I in stereo.
Thank you, Hartle. Much appreciated.
Ugh.
$10 Canadian from
Dude,
Josh.
Bad change. Bad change.
I've got better things to do than this.
They left Toews wide open. Also, Cale greater than Roman.
Yeah, like bad change. Like, you leave him, and Devon Toews is one of those guys. If you aren't pre-scouting that Devon Toews will take the puck when given the opportunity and skate up the ice with it.
Yep, he
And
does it
chew
every
up
time.
ground and put any level of pressure on you, your pre-scouting is terrible. He will do it at every turn, over and over and over and over and over. Devon Toews is always attacking.
Yep.
$5 from Chris. Good to see DK not out long term. That being said, if I'm Bendar, I play Frankie Monday.
Yeah, I mean,
That just depends on where Kuemper's at, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. If Darcy Kuemper comes to you and he's like, guys, I'm fine.
you go.
Darcy Kuemper goes
Yeah.
into the game,
Yep.
and you don't worry about it.
Yep. If he says I need more time, you play Frankie. You don't worry about it. And then a ridiculous $100 super chat from Edward. You're insane. My wife is deployed and we have 2 kids, so I never get to hang out with y'all live after the game. Here's making up for all of the missed supers, and thank you for all the pods I listen to since I can't really watch too many games right now. That's ridiculous, man.
Appreciate both
Yeah.
Edward and thank your wife for
Yep.
her service as well.
Yeah, straight up.
Lots
So,
of appreciation.
amazing
We
stuff.
would not be cool to just sit around and do what we do all day if there weren't people out there
Doing the real stuff. Yeah.
literally fighting for that.
Yep.
So, an unending amount of love and respect there.
No doubt about it. Okay. Avs up 3-0 in the series. Nashville doesn't seem like they have any answers. How do you not feel great going into Game 4 as Colorado?
If you're John Hines, let's look at it through this lens. Let's
Sure.
look at it through the Nashville lens. If you're John Hines, if you're Nashville, what do you say to your team? How do you've had a game that you were never competitive in. You were down 5-0 in 14 minutes. That game's over.
Yep.
Game 2, you get everything you could possibly imagine out of your goaltender, and the holy shit kicked out of you otherwise. Game 3, you're 3-3 halfway through, and you lose 7-3.
Yep.
Where do you draw your positives? What do you tell your team? What adjustments do you make from here? Because tactically, they got the matchups they wanted today. Look, Nashville's top line ate up Nazem Kadri's line.
That second line got torched.
At even strength. At 5v5, they got eaten up. What do you do?
I mean,
what adjustment can you make? Is there an adjustment that you can make? I know I just ask 7 questions.
2 things. 1, got to stay out of the box, right? They just ruined you on the power play.
Yes.
2,
And like Philip Forsberg charging
the
Logan O'Connor.
the most blatant charge ever for no reason.
Like, what are you doing? Like, that's not a guy that you're like worried about a discipline problem from. Like, that's Philip Forsberg.
Yeah.
And
as a team, you take tons of penalties, but he's not that guy.
yeah.
You've gotten nothing offensively from Philip Forsberg, and now he's actively hurting you.
It sucks to suck, but 2.
That's where I was going to go with this.
I'll go.
No, it sucks to suck. Like
At this point, do you just kind of just say, "Look, we've emptied the barrel. We've tried different things. We had our chance in game 2 with the great goaltending.
Yeah.
We're on our second and third tier goaltenders, and we just don't have the horses for this."
Well, and game 3 kind of just like locks it in because you have the advantage at home, right? Like you have all of those tactical advantages at your fingertips. You can make the matchups what you want, and this is the outcome you got. Like you got a great performance by Connor Ingram in the second game. He came back to earth, and this is the difference between the Avalanche number 1 team and the number 8 Preds team. It's you just don't have the talent there. So
subsequent rounds, this won't be a conversation.
Yeah.
Those teams are going to be better equipped for a best of 7, and that's how they get there.
Yep.
And so the truth here is just that Nashville just doesn't have it.
Yeah,
there
no,
isn't
they
anything
don't.
John Hines can do.
No.
You can't ask Matt Duchene to score more goals. You can ask Philip Forsberg to score a goal, but it probably means that Matt Duchene doesn't score a goal.
So the one question I have is game 4. Do you go back to Rittich?
No.
Okay.
He was so brutally... Look, if David Riddick had a good season, you could probably have that conversation.
Yeah.
He had an .886 save percentage during the regular season.
Yeah.
Connor Ingram is the only one that has shown you any level of competence in this series. And today you could just say, look, for as good as Game 2 was, Game 3 was bad. And then his Game 1 performance is probably where he really is.
Yeah.
Where he was fine.
Okay.
It was a low-pressure environment.
In a weird situation, yeah.
It was a low-pressure environment. He gave up 2 goals. You weren't really that worried about him. He wasn't really a big factor. That's exactly what you want on your third goaltender.
Yep.
Gives up goals, but is not, like, giving them up, and you're like, holy crap, dude, come on.
Yeah.
You're betraying everything we're doing back here. So I just think that with the... At this point, I think I would agree with you. This is probably... Like, are we expecting a really strong Nashville, like a proud performance on Monday? Or are we going to see the Calgary Game 5?
Especially if the Avs score first, I think they go away real fast.
Well, and this is another factor that we haven't talked about, but I do think is interesting. Nashville hasn't led in this series. We haven't seen that version of the Avalanche. We haven't seen that version
where they have to play hungry to try and get back into it.
Where they have to climb uphill.
Yep.
It started out as like the starting gun goes and the Avs get out on top of the hill first.
Yep.
And then just keep going, and Nashville never catches up. Even in a game where they down 2-0, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3.
But they never gave up that critical one. Yeah.
Well, and then they never end up in the lead, and they never do it again. Like they can't keep up when Colorado turned it up.
Just keeps going.
When Colorado turned it up, you go look at the second period and you look at the shot chart and
see
stuff.
it just go.
And you see where when Colorado turns it up.
And Nashville's just hanging on,
It has consistently separated these two teams. So if you are John Hines and you are saying, hey, what more do you want from me here? I don't know that there's a lot more that he can do. He got matchups that he wanted tonight, and it just didn't go his way.
Yep.
Like, Nashville's top line outplays its matchup that night by a lot. It just doesn't... It just ends up not mattering.
Yeah.
Because the special teams betrayed everything at even strength.
Yeah.
Is that maybe the one positive? That at even strength, you've played
didn't
Colorado
get that
fine?
caved, yeah.
You've been fine against... Because you're looking at game 1, and you're like, okay, well, let's throw game 1 in the bin. Game 2, you give up the 1 goal from McKinnon.
And some overtime nonsense.
And then an overtime goal. But otherwise, you have 3 periods of you don't. You got crushed. But
in
you didn't
every
give up
imaginable
goals.
way.
And then in this game, you barely give up any goals.
This
at
game is
5v5.
Your goalie, though, in the
5v5,
second game also put up a 9-6-1.
Right. Like I guess I'm just having this conversation because I want to see from the other side. If you were trying to attack Colorado's lineup, have they given you an opening to do it?
Yeah.
And I don't think that they have.
There's nothing there.
The rough stuff hasn't worked. The attitude stuff hasn't worked. Special teams has been a nightmare for you. 5v5, while it hasn't been a total train wreck, just has not gone well enough.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't know where if you're Nashville, you're looking at Game 4 and like,
Your best
this
bet,
will get better for us.
Your best bet in Game 4 is Kuemper is still not healthy and Francouz shits the bed. I think that's your best bet.
So Colorado beats themselves.
Yes.
And I don't see that happening.
Me either.
I can totally see it
great.
in a game.
One
But
game.
trying to, in a best of 7, for them to try and come back, I have a really hard time buying it. Because it feels like...
You don't even start having that conversation until the Avs lose Game 5.
Legitimately, it feels like Game 5 is the stopping point to all of it because of how Colorado has played in Denver at Ball Arena this year.
Yep.
They've been a streak stopper. They've even their losing streak at the end of the year. They come back against the St. Louis Blues team
and drop the hammer. Yeah.
Playing for something and erased them.
Yep.
Despite the goofy shit at the end of that game, like thoroughly outplayed the Blues. So even the team that didn't care got it done.
That easy. The Avs are just that good.
All right. I mean, people after the last game were like, "Oh, they're being so arrogant," and you guys are, this and that, and it's like, okay, come and try and convince me that Nashville has a footing here.
Yeah.
Because pretty much this series has gone exactly the way that we have sort of scripted it in terms of where Colorado has found success and where it hasn't.
Yep.
And where it hasn't is a list of no things.
I mean, that's the beauty, again, that we've talked about all year. Doesn't fucking matter what way they play. The Avs just find ways to win.
They're just better at whatever style of hockey you want to play. Like,
yep.
I'm sorry.
Well, and Nashville hasn't been good enough to dictate any of that.
Straight up.
I'll let you know when I see a team that plays a better style than they do.
Still waiting.
Yep.
Okay. Are we good? Final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we're
Calgary,
good.
watch out.
Now it's 4-3 in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Rangers coming on. Calgary Dallas is 1-1 right now.
Calgary. Wow.
I mean, you've got to be really, really so. Do you guys have a few minutes to talk about this?
Yeah, we're chilling.
Because we won't do a pod tomorrow.
I mean, I've got a playoff hockey game to go to.
Well, you can leave.
Well,
I'm fine.
Just at the end of this one, real quick,
yeah.
Minnesota St. Louis. Have you guys been really overly surprised by how that has played out?
A little bit. I thought
just in terms of the blowouts.
The blowouts is what gets me. Like I thought it'd be closer games. I still feel like the Blues can pull this out.
The thing is, watching Husso shit the bed in Game 3 was concerning.
That was where you're like, okay, each goalie's kind of had a tough game
Yeah.
here. How do you all respond? And then like you
got to go back to Bennington now.
You get like the veteran response,
Yep.
where he plays fine, like Fleury's fine, right?
And Husso, you get the.
But when you're
oh,
given
no.
a 2-0 lead 2 minutes into a game, like you're just in a different world.
Yep. Yeah. It's,
Okay. So, but Dallas, Calgary, like there have been 3 goals scored in that series in 2 games.
Matt Duchene has as many goals as that entire series.
This is what you're worried about when it comes to the Dallas Stars, is that they will insist on playing such a style that they welcome in
Lull
the
you right to
chaotic,
sleep,
evil
yeah.
element of hockey. And however it goes for them, they'll live with.
Yeah.
But they say we want to manage the other team's offensive weapons best as possible. We want to play style. We want to play 5 guys at the blue line. We're not even trying to score.
Get a 1-goal lead and
They are
hold
trying
it
to
for the
park
rest
the
of the
bus
game.
for 60 minutes
Yep.
and counterattack on mistakes.
Have one
only.
bounce that goes their way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A Pavelski tip over his shoulder.
Yep.
And then hold on all game. That's it. Like that's.
And I just.
Dallas just wants to win 1-0.
Yep.
And I'm surprised that Calgary has been unable to better dictate those games, because that is just not a very good or deep Stars team.
Shesty just got ran into.
Well, at
Looks
least
fine.
he didn't look like he died this time.
Yeah. It's and like honestly, if the Avs somehow end up with Dallas in the conference finals, I would expect the Avs to dictate play significantly better than Calgary has against that team.
That was such a weird season series too.
Yeah.
Because you had the one game that Dallas won in Denver where the shots were like 42-17.
It was the actual just nonsense.
And they scored like 3 like bullshit goals against Francouz, and you're like, dude. Anyway.
Oh, is it Georgi? So Shesterkin isn't even in. Okay,
So
my bad.
Florida, Washington, that's 2-1 Caps now after 3 games.
Yep.
Anything about that series striking you guys? I'm kind of dipping into some of our topics for next week, but so much changes.
Every day to day, yeah.
Right, and like our next real like off day pod is Tuesday.
Yep.
And given how schedules may go, we may not do a show that day.
Florida is
So I'm just
exactly
having these
who I
conversations
fucking
while I
thought
can.
they were. They're exactly who I thought
Except
they were.
you picked them.
Yeah, because my heart of hearts wants them to lose, but my brain couldn't let me do it.
This guy just saw the score and now he's changing up his tune.
No, this has been my take the whole time. I said it was an emotional hedge of a prediction.
I mean, Washington just knows how to win. That's the problem.
So when Washington was in Denver, what I really liked is that they just kind of were comfortable with like a really physical, boring, like, hey, we'll just kind of do this and then we'll just let you beat yourself.
Yeah.
And when you hand us opportunities, we'll just take them.
Yep.
Well, and that's
They're not forcing play. They're not dictating it so much. They're just saying we're gonna play a safe. We're gonna batten down the hatches. We know our goalie's not great. We know our defense isn't deep. We're gonna just kind of hang out here and let you guys make mistakes, and we'll capitalize.
You're exactly right when you say let them beat themselves, because Florida beats themselves, and in the regular season, fuck it, we'll come back from 2, 3, 4 goals down.
Yeah, well, and then they play an experienced team.
Yeah.
And this is where you talk about experience.
Yep.
Because Florida doesn't have a ton of it through most of its lineup, and Washington has like an endless well of it.
Yeah.
Like an endless well of second-round heartbreaks, right? Just like Colorado. Tons of playoff experience at this point, losing in the same round. Although, obviously, Washington, like, got over that hump.
Did their fair share of it in round 2, yeah.
But it's been interesting so far how uncompetitive the first round is.
That's what we were talking about that
blowouts.
before you got here. It's just like, it's been boring.
Yeah.
The first round's been
I didn't
boring.
watch last night.
Yeah.
I didn't bother. I saw the scores and was like, I'll watch the Rockies
By
game,
the time-
which was great.
By the time I turned on the late game, it's 4-1 Edmonton, and you're like, oh, I guess
That
this
game
game's over.
sucked.
Yeah.
When you're not a fan of a team,
didn't
like,
have
those-
any interest
those
in that
blowouts
series
suck.
to begin with, and watching
Even less now. Yeah.
Watching LA get absolutely, like, after one game, everybody was like, 2013 Jake Quick is back! And it was like,
Nope.
You know what? I might have been on that same train.
these hot takes fucking kill me, man.
I was on that same
Where
train.
we're like, oh, a guy did this 8 years ago, I guess 9 years ago. We're
Maybe he
totally
can
believers
rekindle
that
it.
the
Maybe he
magic
can
is
rekindle it.
back! And it's, okay.
Yeah. I don't
Well,
know.
like, he's older, and, like, the Kings team is just too beaten up, I think, at this point. And so many young guys that have never been in the postseason, have never even played 82-game regular season because of all the COVID and stuff over the last couple of years. They have so many guys who've never played a full year in the NHL.
Just getting
They
that-
are out of gas.
You talk about matchups in that series. You catch one of those new kids against Connor McDavid in the
Yeah,
playoffs, and it's like, all
Like,
right.
Kopitar and Deneau sounded great after game one, and then you're like, oh, right, those guys don't score.
Yeah.
Matt Roy.
Right. Like, those guys don't score in
Matt
special.
Roy.
If you could
Matt
guarantee 60 minutes of 5v5, I would like the Kings' chances. But you can't, and that's where they're getting worked.
Tough times. Tough times indeed. And it really, all the games last night ended up being blowouts. Or I guess the Boston-Carolina wasn't really a blowout, but it was
It's
never
still
that
a bummer
close.
of a
Yeah.
game.
It was like, 3-1 going into the third, and then got to 4-2.
They made it 4-1, and then they
you're-
got the 4-2,
Yeah,
and
you're
it was like, yeah.
okay, like,
Yeah.
this is fine.
Yeah.
I'm mostly curious because I feel like Carolina's been, like, clearly the better team
I
there.
agree with that.
But with the goaltending situation,
You just don't know what you're going
it's
to get.
a lot of those advantages. You're like, oh, this feels like this got equal in a hurry.
So we'll see. We'll see how the next couple games play out.
I'm glad we got to talk about weird enough
Yeah.
that, like, the Avs game was so, like, that happened that we get to talk about other things.
The next time we'll talk about these, Game 4 will have happened, and series are going to look a lot different. So.
Yeah, because that's the last game of that night, I believe. Is that they have the late game on Monday night.
Yep.
And if
that's
that's
either
if it's
the Avs are
3-1
either-
or 2-2.
Yeah, the Avs are either advancing or it's 3-1 coming back to Denver.
Yep.
We have no idea what all these other series, which
Could be all over the place.
Right now, there was only 2 series that went 2-0.
Yep.
And the other one went 2-1.
already bodied. Yeah.
One of them went 2-1, and Colorado was up 3. They're the only one right now at 3-0.
About to get a week off.
Which is funny to me because, like, again, last year, like, you have all these people that taking away from what Colorado's done. Oh, you guys swept this team or this, that, or whatever. Acting like the playoffs are so easy. And then you get in there, and then you see all these 2-1, 1-1s. And then Colorado's the only one at 3-0.
Yep.
And it's just like, all right, like, maybe the Avs are actually just pretty good.
Maybe. Who's to say? We're going to get out of here, though. Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, however you consume the podcast. We appreciate all of y'all so very much. Whether you're in town.
Still time to drop one in Nashville, my man.
Out of town.
Don't count out Game 4 just yet. That's still a hockey team that has...
Pop off.
Some of those guys have been to a Stanley Cup
Pop
final.
off.
So...
Pop it off.
I'm going back to my after Game 1 prediction.
4-0.
The sweep. I said 4-2.
This was the game
before
that
the series started.
I said 4-1. This was the game I thought they would lose.
Yeah.
Because it's just really, really, really hard.
Because now the Avs are settled in, right?
Yeah.
Like, they know what to expect.
Yep.
I mean, you saw what the coaching staff did. There's not a lot of tweaks that they can do to tweak this, and it's just the Avs are better.
You're just hoping to get a great day for your guys, and you
need a great day from your goalie,
a
great day from your defense, and a great day from your forwards, and that doesn't happen
And
often.
you might win
And
if you get that.
You need special teams to not exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least break even. They can't keep costing you games.
If you're local, come to the bar. If you're not local, join us on the watch along on Monday.
Yeah.
Either way,
I'll be back for that.
it's going to be a blast. We are
My first
outie.
playoff win on a watch along.
Let's go!
You go back and watch the watch along today. I was downright boring. I didn't talk for 10 minutes at a time.
Yep.
That's how it is when you're watching hockey. Though.
AJ had like 2 speeds on the watch along. It was like nervous energy or turbo dunk energy.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really nervous. It was just like, there's still so long to go. And I'm not getting too up or down about any of this.
for sure.
Like when the Avs got that third goal, I knew that there was a tying goal coming. I was like, we're waiting.
Here we go.
And then after that, it felt like the real game started.
Off to the...
yeah, you got more playoffs.
Yeah, if my kids win tonight, they go to the finals.
There you
tomorrow.
go.
And if they don't, then you finally get to not have to watch that level of hockey anymore.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about it because I know there's people here that watch a little bit of it. I'll speak my piece after the pod.
All right. We love you. We'll catch you on Monday.
Little kid hockey
Pre-game,
just
watch
said.
along,
Yeah.
post-game. Little
I
kid
love my
hockey,
kids.
maybe in the new word for Nashville hockey. That's all I'm saying.
Nashville's played 3 games of it.
Yep.
Goodbye.